Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've recently fell in love with Julius Creed for the first time. Let me explain. I'm a firm believer in that you make the most out of what you have on your account. You do the best with what you have on hand. Okay, I've said it multiple times, and I never used Julius Creed because I didn't have a Tama plate. Um, Everything that I saw was like, hey, you got to use the Tama plate, you need double purple, blah blah blah. Without a Tama plate, he just wasn't doing enough damage. So I stuck him on the shelf, and I continued to use Miz. And then after I got Miz, okay, or after I got Mercy, started using Mercy, and then Hip Hop Cena, and all of these other techs that showed up. And Julius Creed, I brought the 6-star gold, and I left him there. And then I came across a situation where I needed to use a modern tech to do something. I forget what it is. I think it was Break Purple, Break Traps, SmackDown event during the WrestleMania month. I think I could be wrong, and I needed to figure out a way to get him to do damage, not lose, and actually be effective. So I went into my inventory and I started looking around, and I noticed I have a Trap 8 laying around, and I've got a purple Royal Rumble. That's no Tama plate, but boy, it's probably pretty close. You know what I'm saying? So I created a strap with those two plates, and sure enough, it worked, and it worked extremely well. And I used him for basically the rest of that showdown event. And now when I need a tech, I kind of reach towards him because it's pretty easy. Um, it's pretty easy. It's 2 clicks. I get to watch a bunch of lights flash, and the whole board disappears and turns purple and stuff. I was like, all right, I see what you're putting down, Julius. And then the May Madness month happened, which is this month for those that are watching from the future. And the straps that don't require a class, they're just era locked, came out. And I know Merrick's has been screaming from the rooftops about how this is probably the best thing that we can possibly get this month is, and I don't disagree with him. But most people are looking at like, well, Merrick's did a video. I'll link it in the description, where he made a drip yeet combo belt just specifically for drip yeets, and all the characters that use that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't particularly need a drip yeet belt because I don't use a lot of characters from the modern era that need a drip yeet. Now, Attitude Era, yeah, that's a different story. I will probably make a yeet maker for Attitude Era because my Attitude Era is so weak. I've seen a lot of people put Piper plates on it. Also a great idea. I ain't knocking it. But I'm personally in such a situation where everybody that needs a Piper plate that I use on a consistent basis has one. So I could make a Piper maker, but I don't think I'm going to get the most value out of it. But since I don't have a Tama plate, there is a lot of value I can get out of that. Or at least my fake Tama strap setup. And my fake Tama strap setup is just this. It's 100% gym damage belt. I have Fury 3s on it, as much rainbow as possible, and then some pretty good substats. Not so great on the gym defense. I'll probably go back and readjust. See if I can't catch a little bit more purple. See if I can't get some green as well. But not bad, all things considered. And then I got my trap 8. Whenever you make 8 or more trap gems, make 8 random gems and it multiplies as strength 8. And then the purple, whenever you destroy 30 plus gems, generate 30 purple gems at the end of your turn. And this turns out to be an extremely effective um, replacement for the Tama plate. So let's look and let's see what Julius does with this particular setup. And believe it or not, it's good. Now, I understand that most of this is going to be skewed. I'm running tier 6 metals into tier 5 equipped tour superstars. I understand this is not to show max damage or anything like that. This is to show the effectiveness that I'm going to get out of this strap with a variety of superstars presumably with a variety of game modes, and how I'm going to be able to use this and save myself a lot. I mean, a lot of plate switcher currency. So that was Julius. He just hit for, what was that, 90 million? I wasn't paying that much attention. I think it was 90 mil. That's fantastic. 2 clicks and done. I'll take it. Well, who else can it go on? A lot, actually. Another card that I've got built up to 6-star gold that I don't really understand why I put him at 6-star gold is Tama Tonga. Now, Tama has 2 movesets. One of them is move damage based. That is kind of inconsistent in my opinion, and just not quite enough damage at 6-star gold to get it done. And I really like move damage stuff, and I still am not a huge fan of his move damage setup. But I've found that he's really good at the break traps, make purple, break leech tasks, and I use him a lot for that, actually. So we set him up in much the same way as Julius. We need purple to get purple loaded. You need to generate 1 more trap to get the trap 8 plate to work, and then I've got theory here for 100% more leech gem damage. And move flow is similar to what you would normally run with him. Now, this isn't going to be the biggest hit in the world. Tama Tonga is still not quite the best card that has ever been made. I think is the nice way of putting it. What a trash board to start off with, though. Oh my goodness. I think I'm just going to do this. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll put a trap there too. And then we blow all the traps up. That will load your finisher. So now we've got multis. We don't have any traps to overwrite any of the multis, and we have leech gems. Pretty decent. Ain't half bad. It'll recycle itself. And chances are, well, what a terrible hit that is. But that's 30 million. But breaks leeches, breaks purples, breaks traps. And I found that incredibly useful pretty recently. All right, so cool. Now I've got a strap for this guy when I need to use a strap for this guy. All right, who else? Well, I'm glad you asked. Now, I know there's a lot of ways to run Trickster Cena. Most notoriously is double green. Double green move damage with the last ride to hell plate. I get it. It works. It works great. You can also run it slightly differently. Let's see here. You run it trap yellow, yellow, and kind of focus on your multiply gems. Well, the trap 8 plate just happens to make more multiply gems. Yay! We run with green MP, yellow MP, rainbow MP, and then just make a couple of traps. And I like it here because of the 100% more trap gem damage. We already know what the strap does. So we're not completely flooding the board. So we're only making 37 out of possible 39. That's 12 empty spots left over. Those will get filled up by multis. Super nice. See, here's all the multis. Now we're going to swap a lot of these traps into multis. Now we're going to break a lot of these traps. Catch all that multis. And now we're going to catch his primary gem damage. 48 million. Not terrible. Also 2-click and will work. Is the green setup better? Yes, it sure is. But now I have a third option for this strap. Something that will work in a pinch. That was also 40 million damage at 6-star silver. Probably gets a whole lot better at gold. Just saying. 6-star silver with or without levels? Without levels and a hollow star. Yeah, man. Like, yeah. Let's check a different one. This one's we're gonna be testing this one at the same time. This was a last minute theory craft by me. Akam. How much better does Akam get with this strap? So we have to remember we're at 6-star bronze. We have 1 hollow star. No levels. So we're hurting a little bit. But setup is we're going to load yellow to fill purples, and that's why Trick Hogan is here, and then just rainbow gem damage right here. All right. Let's see how much this one hit will do. Again, I'm not anticipating this to be setting the world on fire, but maybe there's a situation in the future where you have to use Akam. I hope not, but in case there is, here we go. Now we're loaded. Now we're breaking a bunch of making a bunch of traps. We're going to get some multiplies on the board. By the way, the traps make 7 randos into yellow. Okay, so we're going to flood the board yellow. After we flood the board purple, and purple is his main color. It's 11 million. It's an 11 million pin with a 6-star bronze. That puts him at probably close to 40 to 45 at gold with all of his levels and maxed out. Maybe close to 50 to 55 now that I think about it, because my Akam is woefully unprepared. Maybe you can come up with a better entourage for him. But now I have a Final Testament card that is actually halfway decent. Okay, cool. We're getting somewhere. What about the ladies? Also glad you asked. Alexa Bliss. For some reason, the triple blue moveset for her doesn't do it for me. It doesn't, I don't know. I couldn't put into words why I don't like it all that much, but it just doesn't work. I really want to do trap stuff. Okay. I can't do trap stuff because I don't have mellow. I'm not salty, you're salty. So I have to use the sub. Okay, that's fine. What do we need here? I think the traps make purple. Yep. So let's find some purple gem damage. Or rainbow. Rainbow would be fine. I'm looking for Legend Roman is who I'm looking for. He's got hollow stars, so he should be right about here. There we go. All right, so the idea is we're going to start with red loaded. This does more purple gem damage, create more purples, and then purple and multiply gem damage. All right. Again, I get it. It's sub gameplay. Sub gameplay isn't for everybody. I know. It's fine. But the difference between like super ultra hyper top tier, everything goes fast, and just having something that works. Sometimes you just need something that works. Now we're going to throw out all the traps. Going to make some multiplies. We're going to hit the finisher. And if it's against Technician, all those purple gems are going to get boosted. All right. That's 22 million pin at 6-star gold with some hollow stars. 6-star bronze, I'm sorry, with some hollow stars. I ain't mad at it. That works. Let's keep going. Actually, I just saw a flaw in a plan of one I was going to show off, so I'm just going to go all the way down to one that I think a lot of us have built but haven't used in a long time unless you have a drip plate. Good old Dakota Kai. This is probably about as good as mimicking a drip plate as you can possibly get. And it's still the same moveset that everybody has always used. So I'm not going to go over too awful much. It's black MP, rainbow damage, black damage, trap damage. Oh, Dakota. I used to use Dakota Kai all the time. I had to. She was my best trickster. I think my second best trickster was like Carmella. Um, this gets a little dicey because you don't want to break too many traps, but you kind of gotta. I think this is probably about the best way of going about it. Into the 20 millions with her. Again, it's not a replacement for the drip plate, but it is a really good Teemo version of it. So now I have a usable, not top tier, but usable Dakota Kai again that I probably could figure something else. Oh yeah, need levels, need a star. Like I now have a usable Dakota Kai. That was what, six? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 different cards that I came up with in the course of about 30 minutes that is going to benefit from this strap. There are probably a handful others that I just didn't even think of. So what's the point of this entire video? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is another exercise of doing the absolute best you can with what you have. I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and make this strap. It might not help you the way it's going to help me, and that's fine. But when a game gives you an opportunity, think about it. How is it going to help you? Go get one of these straps. Go get 2 of them. Get 3 of them if you can. Figure out something to do. It will make your life easier going forward. That's all I've got for you today. As always, if you've learned anything today, if you've been entertained by anything today, or if you just happen to like the sound of my voice, do me a favor, click like, click subscribe, please share to your faction mates. And I'll talk to you next time. Late.